Homemade solid dish soap is a fantastic non-toxic cleanser that you can make yourself. It creates a thick and foamy lather that's highly cleansing and gives your dishes a streak-free finish, even if you have hard water. I'd like to show you how to make it, and if you've made cold process soap before, it will be a breeze. But don't worry if you're a beginner, I think it's simple enough for you to make too. I'm Tanya from Lovely Greens, and I share natural soap and DIY skincare recipes that you can make at home. Please give this video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and that way you'll get plenty more soap making inspiration. Now let's get to the ingredients. This solid dish soap recipe has a 0% superfat and will keep your dishes streak-free. It's also very easy to make with a few ingredients. They include coconut oil and soy wax, which I've measured into a stainless steel pan. There's also distilled water and sodium hydroxide to make the lye solution, and a little more distilled water and citric acid to make the citric acid solution. All of these ingredients are natural, including the lye. And if you would like to scent your solid dish soap, you can use essential oil. And I've included guidance on that in the printable form of this recipe, which you can find at the link on the screen and down in the video text description. As far as the other ingredients, we are using two types of oil. Well, technically an oil and a wax. Coconut oil on its own makes a pretty good dish soap, and a lot of recipes include only that. The problem with coconut oil though is its longevity. It just doesn't last very long. It's cleansing, it's hard, but you'll have to replace it more often. That's where soy wax comes in. Soy wax not only improves the longevity of the soap, but it also helps to create that really foamy, beautiful lather. Soy wax is often included in shaving soap recipes, and you'll see why. That lather is beautiful. Now, as far as the citric acid solution, you might be new to using this in soap if you have soft water. When you use sodium citrate or citric acid, which becomes sodium citrate, it helps soap to lather in hard water. It also prevents soap scum, and it helps to keep your dishes streak-free. When making cold process soap, you need to wear gloves and eye protection and work in an airy place. For more on soap making safety and how to prepare, head over to the link on the screen. Now, let's get to making the recipe. The first thing that I'll be doing is getting my workstations all ready, having the ingredients laid out, and putting the ramekins or the molds out on some greaseproof paper. And I'm just gonna be wiping the insides out of each of them, making sure that they're nice and clean and dry, and just spreading them out here. And the paper is to catch any excess soap so that it'll make it much easier for cleanup. The first ingredients that I'm going to mix together are the first part of distilled water and the lye. And I'm working here in my sink. It's a nice safe place. And with this small amount of lye and water, I just dump the lye directly in and then give it a good stir. I've mixed the lye solution together, and I'm just gonna leave it here in the sink to cool down. And because it needs to be a little bit warmer than usual, I'm not going to fill it with water. I'm just gonna leave it freestanding in the sink to cool down just a bit. While the lye solution is cooling, it's time to melt the coconut oil and the soy wax. So onto the hob they go, and I'm just gonna melt at a relatively low heat. And I'm also going to be stirring this together as it melts to help break up the coconut oil and help it all to melt a little bit quicker. Next, we're going to be making the citric acid solution, which is just citric acid and a little bit of distilled water. It does take about a minute to mix this together. And then once it's completely dissolved, I'll set it aside and return to the oils. The oil and the wax are now fully melted, so it's time to take this over to the pot holder. Now once here, it's time to pour in the citric acid solution. So we mixed that before, it's all completely dissolved. Just pour it straight in. And it's completely normal for it not to mix with the oils and wax. You'll just see it kind of hanging out at the bottom of the pan. See all those little globules, little bubbles of water? It's totally normal for oil and water to not mix together, but they will once the lye solution is introduced. It's 132 right now, so it needs to get down to about 125. So we'll keep stirring this a little bit, and let's check on the lye solution as well. Well, it is round about the same temperature as the oils, so I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I want them both to be about 125. Although the lye solution, it can be a little bit warmer, no problem. We just don't want it to go below that. Right, that's the right temperature, 125. The lye solution is just above this, so it's time to mix. I'm going to pour the lye solution through this sieve and against the spatula inside. And this mix will trace. It will thicken up really quickly. So you might want to consider just using a spatula. I've stirred the ingredients together pretty well. And although you don't have to use one, I'm going to use this just to give it a little bit of a start. So I'm putting my immersion blender into the pan, and I'm just gonna blitz it for a few seconds. And that is it. Don't overblend this because it can thicken up really quickly. Just swap back over to your spatula and just stir. I've been stirring it for a couple of minutes, and I can feel it start to thicken up as I spoon it around, as I stir it. And yeah, if I drizzle just a little bit of it on top, there's a very faint trace. So let's get this over to the ramekins before it starts thickening up too much. I've got a couple of different types of ramekins here. The ones in the front are freebies from the supermarket. Some desserts come in them. And the ones in the back are your standard ramekins. And I think we'll be able to fill these perfectly. That's great. I scraped that pan out really well. I'm gonna set it aside. And I'm just gonna tap these ramekins that don't have a smooth surface, especially this one. And all I'm gonna do now is leave them here for 2 days. And during that time, the saponification will be finished. And if I wanted to, I could use these after just 2 days. Besides keeping an eye on how thick this recipe can get when you start mixing the ingredients together, it's really easy. And when you do start using it to wash your dishes, make sure that you wear gloves, use a bristle brush, work up a lather, and it will clean your dishes beautifully. And because you are wearing gloves when you use it, technically you can start using this 2 days after you make it. And the reason for that is that saponification will be complete and it won't actually come into contact with your skin. However, if you cure your dish soap for 4 to 6 weeks, it will be even better. The lather will be better. It'll be much easier to work up that lather, and it will just wash your dishes like a dream. And the reason for that is that during the curing process, more things happen besides just saponification. If you have any questions about the ingredients, if you've made this recipe and want to give your feedback, there is a comment box down below. I would love to hear from you. And again, if you want more information on why this recipe looks like it's high in lye if you put it in a soap calc, or why to use citric acid, or why to use soy wax, a link to the printable form of this recipe is down in the video text description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next soap making video. Bye for now.